Australian canonised saint. She was born in the 1860s in Melbourne. Her parents came from Scotland. As a young woman, she became very aware of the need for poor children in country Australia to receive education. It really concerned her that young children had no education at all. So she felt called, with a group of other young women and a priest called Father Julian Tennyson Woods, she felt called to form a community of women who would go dedicate themselves to going out into the bush and teaching young children. She was a very strong woman, very, very strong, but determined to help as many poor children as possible. She was strong, and she demanded a lot from the young women who went with her. She made sure that they lived simply as possible and dedicated themselves to doing God's will, as she saw it, as they saw it, helping these young children. As a young person, dedicated, determined, she also did run into problems with the authorities of the church, because her vision of being a sister, a nun, differed somewhat from the more conventional idea of a nun. In those days, most nuns lived in traditional convents, and they didn't get out too much among the poor. But Mary was determined to get out of not sitting inside a building, but to get out where the children were. But she clashed with the bishop, who excommunicated her. But that didn't deter her. She went to Rome, to the Pope, and explained the situation, and she was brought back into the church. And then over the years, many young women were attracted to join her, both in Australia and in New Zealand. And the community that she started is called the Sisters of St. Joseph of the Sacred Heart. And those sisters now are working all over Australia and in New Zealand, focusing their attention on educating the poor. She's a great example for us all.